What is going on, YouTube? My name is Andrew Miller, editor over at Hook'emHeadlines.com. Kind of covering something a little bit different with the Hook 'em Horns football show today. Still Texas-related content. We're talking about the first start for former Texas quarterback Sam Ehlinger in place of the now benched Matt Ryan. Ehlinger got his first NFL start with the Colts as they took on the Washington Commanders this week. Wanted to kind of break it down, see, what went right, what went wrong, where Ehlinger goes from here, and where the Colts go from here, for that matter. With him as, at least by my understanding, will be the starting quarterback from here on out. We'll see what direction they go in during the offseason. But Commanders get the 1-point win here. They had a game-winning drive led by Taylor Heineke that was primarily sparked by a 38-yard pass to Terry McLaurin. They got the ball down, the Colts won, and the Commanders were able to punch it in shortly thereafter. Colts couldn't do much with the last drive. What kind of doomed them there was a drop pass from Michael Pittman. It was a nice ball from Ehlinger. There were a couple key drops in this game, fumbles. There was a lot of things that hurt the Colts in this game, as has been the case throughout the entire season. I personally am a Colts fan, so it has not been a super fun season to watch so far. But Ehlinger finishes up this game 17 of 23, 201 passing yards, no touchdowns, no picks. He did have a fumble. He was sacked twice and then had 6 rushes for 15 yards. So there were, I'm trying to think, one or two run plays for Ehlinger at least that wound up getting called back on holds. He showed a good amount of pocket awareness, and he was able to escape when the Commanders were getting pressure. But there was at least one play that was a hold on the Colts. Granted, neither team was penalized a ton. I think there were 6 total flags in this game. But I think that's a pretty big positive for Ehlinger in this game was showing a lot of pocket awareness. He had a couple of really nice throws, most notably a deep ball that went for, I believe it was about 47 yards to Alec Pierce. Well-timed ball, well-timed throw. Ehlinger had a little bit of pressure coming in his face, but it really, really well
2,
put.
3. And not only does he can't get to his third read, I'll tell you what, in that case, he went right across the
overall, especially early, the Colts were trying to drop some shorter passing plays for Ehlinger. He ends up averaging a little under 9 yards per attempt in this game, which is boosted by some of those deeper passes late in this one. Alec Pierce was the leading receiver in this game for the Colts, largely because of that 47-yard pass. He finishes 3 receptions, 65 yards. There were times when Sam also looked to have a good connection with Michael Pittman, who, despite having that bad drop at the end, finishes up with, I believe, a team-leading 7 catches for about 53 yards. Overall, I have to, if I could give Sam a grade, especially considering it's his first career start and the Colts just have not been doing themselves many favors this season, I would probably give it somewhere between a B- to a B. Again, he made a lot of nice throws in this game, was executing especially late for the Colts. The fumble, while I don't think it was necessarily his fault, you would like to see him taking a little bit better care of the football in that regard. He didn't really have that many turnover-worthy plays otherwise. Again, I believe the Colts had 2 turnovers on the day, and the other one was a Jonathan Taylor fumble that was really costly in the second half. The unfortunate part about both of the Colts' turnovers here is that they were both, if not within the red zone, at least within the opponent's 25. And so a lot of missed opportunities that spelled this entire game for the Colts. There was a field goal late where the Colts had the ball at the 1-yard line at one point. Actually, it looked like it was a touchdown at one point, and then one ball carrier ends up getting ruled down at the 1. Colts can't punch it in, get a field goal, and ultimately one of the reasons why they ended up losing this game. I think another major positive from this game for Sam was his ability to go through reads. Colts have a decent offensive line, but Commanders were getting some pressure in his face in this one, and he was still completing passes all over the field. He ends up getting the ball here to, let me see, 7? Yeah, 7 different pass catchers on the day, which is really impressive for a guy making his first career start. And the Colts don't really have an abundance of weapons. I mean, Jonathan Taylor is a very good running back, but he's had, this season has definitely not been what we expected out of Jonathan Taylor after he was so good, best running back in the NFL last year. But, in the receiving core, Paris Campbell had a nice game. Nyheim Hines had one nice catch, but Ehlinger had some nice chemistry with his teammates here. He's shown some of this ability during the preseason to make a lot of these throws, whether it be deep or intermediate routes. Good touch on the crossing routes. He's making a lot of nice throws to all levels of the field, and that's really encouraging just from an offensive play calling perspective for the Colts. He kind of already has that maturity of being able to take care of the football, manage the game well, and when the pocket is breaking down, he's able to escape. That leads me kind of into the final positive that I have from this game for Sam, and that I don't really want to say it's necessarily timing, but the ability to, especially in terms of throwing the ball, the ability to manage turnovers. He didn't have any interceptions in this one. The only interception was from Taylor Heineke. There weren't that many situations where Ehlinger was putting the ball in harm's way. We saw this a lot at Texas, where after his first season, he really matured, grew up a lot. I mean, his touchdown interception ratio was rarely higher than 5 or 7 to 1, and you saw why in this game. He doesn't come away with any touchdowns, nothing on the ground or through the air for him, but if he had gotten a little bit more help from his playmakers in this one, I think there were 2 or 3 plays here that should have been touchdowns for Sam, but either ball carrier came up just short. I believe there was one for Paris Campbell where he ended up going out within the 10-yard line, but there was room. If he could have made one more tackle or miss, he would have gotten in the end zone. But Ehlinger showed the ability to move the ball in this game and not take too many risks while doing so. Part of what makes him able to do that is that dual threat ability, that timing that he's already putting on display as well, where he's always got multiple options at his disposal that he can do to come up with successful plays. And being able to put that on display in game 1, granted not against, you're at home, it wasn't in, against the best defense in the NFL, but the Commanders also don't have the worst defense, so, I think that was impressive. This was a Commanders defense that last week, just from I believe from a QBR perspective, actually held Aaron Rodgers more in check than Sam Ehlinger. All told, yes, Aaron Rodgers is having one of the worst seasons of his career, but still, for Ehlinger in his first start, that's something of note. All in all, I would like to see Sam be able to get his team over the hump a little bit, but again, this is his first start. This loss by no means falls on his shoulders, and I think that there are ways that Frank Reich can kind of, first of all, the risk-averse style that Frank Reich has showed this season, this doesn't reflect poorly on Sam. I think that's a problem with Frank Reich. There was a situation late in this game when the Colts had a 4th and inches that if they had picked that up, could have sealed the game, and you have you have a pretty good offensive line, you have a capable runner at quarterback, and you have Jonathan Taylor in the backfield. I don't know why you're punting the ball in that situation and giving Washington the chance to remain and come back in this game. Again, that's not something that falls on Sam. It really is not. In fact, I think that's something where the Colts probably should be utilizing his legs as a weapon more often, add another dimension to this offense. So, yeah, that's kind of my final point here is where the Colts offense goes from here. The play calling has not been very good for the Colts this season, and we'll see if maybe that was just a result of Matt Ryan's struggles earlier in the year, and maybe Frank Reich can figure it out in the next few games with Sam at the helm, or if these kind of confounding play calls at key points in the game will continue. But I would like to see Sam running the ball a little bit more, at least more designed run plays for him. Also, mix up some more of the looks within the offense. The Colts get a little predictable at times. times with some throws behind the line of scrimmage, or with clear crossing patterns, things like that, where the defense is really easy to pick up on. Mix it up a little bit more. Again, you got a quarterback now in Sam Ehlinger that adds another dimension to your offense, that has more arm strength than Matt Ryan has at this point of his career. Obviously, is a lot more capable of a runner, and at this point also probably won't be turning the football over as much, so can form the offense to his strengths, a lot of which he put on display in this game. Like I said, I would give Sam, I think I would give Sam a B, all things considered. The Colts didn't do that. Like, Colts continue to not do themselves any favors this season. I don't think the coaching has been very good. They've been turning the ball over a lot. They're not forcing a lot of turnovers. They keep making weird play calls in key situations that ultimately come back to hurt them. And, yeah, I mean, the quarterback play continues. Like, I think that Sam was a step up than Matt Ryan was in the last few weeks for sure, but well, I guess also the ground game is doing itself no favors. There's a lot of things I could continue to list on here, ramble on for. But again, fact of the matter is Colts aren't doing themselves any favors. Again, I think Sam was a positive for, I mean, he gave them a chance. He gave them every chance to win. They should have won this game. And so I'm not blaming him for this loss. I don't think many Colts fans are, judging from the reactions. So anyway, that is pretty much it. We might do a few more videos talking about kind of Sam and his performance, but we'll also be covering over at the site, Hook'emHeadlines.com. I'll link that in the description below. But anyway, that is pretty much it.